Jacob heard the words of Laban's sons, saying that Jacob had taken all that belonged to their father and had gained all his wealth from what was their father's. Jacob also noticed that Laban's attitude toward him was no longer as before. Then the Lord said to Jacob, "Return to the land of your fathers and to your relatives, and I will be with you." So Jacob called Rachel and Leah into the field where his flocks were, and said to them, "I see that your father's attitude toward me is not as before, but the God of my father has been with me. You yourselves know that with all my strength I served your father, yet he deceived me and changed my wages 10 times, but God did not allow him to harm me. Whenever he said, 'The speckled shall be your wages,' then all the flocks bore speckled. And whenever he said, 'The striped shall be your wages,' then all the flocks bore striped. So God has taken away your father's livestock and given them to me." During breeding season, I looked up and saw in a dream that the male goats mating with the flock were striped, speckled, and spotted. Then the angel of God said to me in a dream, "Jacob," and I said, "Here I am." He said, "Look up and see that all the male goats mating with the flock are striped, speckled, and spotted, for I have seen all that Laban has done to you. I am the God of Bethel, where you anointed a pillar and made a vow to me. Now get up, leave this land, and return to your native land." Then Rachel and Leah answered, "Is there still any portion or inheritance for us in our father's house? Does he not treat us as foreigners? He sold us and even spent our price. For all the wealth that God has taken from our father belongs to us and to our children. Now do whatever God has told you." Then Jacob rose, put his children and wives on camels, and carried away all his livestock and possessions he had acquired in Paddan Aram to go to Isaac his father in the land of Canaan. While Laban was away shearing his sheep, Rachel stole her father's household idols. Jacob deceived Laban the Aramean by not telling him he was fleeing. He fled with all he had, crossed the river, and headed for the hill country of Gilead. On the 3rd day, Laban was told that Jacob had fled. He took his relatives with him and pursued Jacob for 7 days until he overtook him in the mountains of Gilead. But God came to Laban the Aramean in a dream at night and said, "Be careful not to speak to Jacob, either good or bad." Laban overtook Jacob, who had pitched his tent in the mountains. Laban and his relatives pitched theirs as well. Laban said to Jacob, "What have you done, deceiving me and carrying off my daughters like captives of war? Why did you flee secretly and deceive me, not telling me, so I could send you away with joy and music, with tambourines and harps? You did not even let me kiss my sons and daughters. You have acted foolishly. I have the power to harm you, but the God of your father spoke to me last night, saying, 'Be careful not to speak to Jacob, either good or bad.' Now, if you long to return to your father's house, why did you steal my gods?" Jacob answered, "Because I was afraid, thinking you might take your daughters from me by force. But whoever is found with your gods shall not live. Identify whatever of yours is with me and take it." Jacob did not know Rachel had stolen the idols. Laban searched Jacob's tent, Leah's tent, and the 2 servants' tents, but found nothing. Rachel had hidden the idols in the camel's saddle and was sitting on them. Laban searched the whole tent, but found nothing. She said, "Do not be angry, my lord, that I cannot rise before you, for I am having my monthly period." So he looked, but did not find the idols. Jacob became angry and confronted Laban. "What is my offense? What is my sin that you pursue me so fiercely? You have searched all my possessions. What have you found that belongs to your house? Set it here before our relatives and let them judge between us. For 20 years I have been with you. Your ewes and goats never miscarried, and I did not eat rams from your flock. I did not bring you animals torn by beasts. I bore the loss myself. You demanded payment from me, whether stolen by day or night.
By day the heat consumed me, and by night the frost. Sleep fled my eyes. For 20 years I have served you, 14 years for your 2 daughters, and 6 years for your flock, and you changed my wages 10 times. But God did not allow you to harm me. But the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac had been with me. Surely you would have sent me away empty-handed. But God saw my affliction and the labor of my hands, and rebuked you last night. Laban answered, These daughters are my daughters, these children are my children, this flock is my flock, all you see is mine. But what can I do today for my daughters and the children they have borne? Come now, let us make a covenant, you and I, and let it be a witness between us. Jacob took a stone and set it up as a pillar. He told his relatives, Gather stones, and they took stones and made a heap, and they ate there by the heap. Laban called it Jegar-Sadut, but Jacob called it Gilead. Laban said, This heap is a witness between us today. That is why it was called Gilead and also Mizpah, because he said, May the Lord watch between you and me when we are absent from one another. If you mistreat my daughters, or take other wives besides them, though no one is with us, remember that God is witness between us. Laban said, Here is this heap and pillar I have set between us. This heap is a witness, and the pillar is a witness, that I will not pass beyond this heap to harm you, and you will not pass beyond it to harm me. May the God of Abraham and the God of Nahor, the God of their father, judge between us. Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac. Jacob offered a sacrifice in the mountain and invited his relatives to eat. They ate and spent the night in the mountain. Early in the morning, Laban kissed his sons and daughters, blessed them, and returned home.
Jacob also went on his way, and the angels of God met him. And when Jacob saw them, he said, This is God's camp. So he called the name of that place Mahanaim. And Jacob sent messengers ahead of him to Esau, his brother, to the land of Seir, the country of Edom. And he commanded them, saying, Thus shall you say to my lord Esau, Thus says your servant Jacob, I have lived as a foreigner with Laban, and stayed there until now. I have oxen and donkeys, flocks, and male and female servants, and I am sending this message to my lord, so that I may find favor in your sight. And the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, We went to your brother Esau, and he is also coming to meet you, and 400 men with him. Then Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed, and he divided the people who were with him, and the flocks, and the cattle, and the camels, into 2 groups. For he said, If Esau comes to one group and strikes it, the other group which remains shall escape. And Jacob said, O God of my father Abraham, and God of my father Isaac, the Lord who said to me, Return to your country and to your relatives, and I will do you good. I am not worthy of all the kindnesses and all the faithfulness which you have shown to your servant. For with my staff I crossed over this Jordan, and now I have become 2 groups. Deliver me, I pray, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau, for I fear him, lest he come and strike me, and the mothers with the children. And you said, Surely I will do you good, and make your descendants as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered for multitude. And he stayed there that night, and from what came into his hand he chose a present for Esau his brother, 200 she-goats and 20 he-goats, 200 ewes and 20 rams, 30 milk camels with their young, 40 cows and 10 bulls, 20 female donkeys and 10 male donkeys. And he delivered them into the hand of his servants, every herd by itself, and said to his servants, Go on ahead of me, and put some distance between one herd and another. And he instructed the first, saying, When Esau my brother meets you, and asks you, saying, To whom do you belong, and where are you going, and whose are these before you? Then you shall say, They belong to your servant Jacob. It is a present sent to my lord Esau, and behold, he also is coming behind us. And he instructed the second, and the third, and all who followed the herds, saying, In this manner you shall speak to Esau when you find him. And you shall also say, Behold, your servant Jacob is coming behind us. For he said, I will appease him with the present that goes ahead of me, and afterward I will see his face. Perhaps he will accept me. So the present went on ahead of him, but he himself spent that night in the camp. And he rose up that same night, and took his 2 wives, his 2 servant wives, and his 11 sons, and crossed over the ford of the Jabbok. And he took them and sent them over the stream, and then sent over everything he had. And Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he did not prevail against him, he touched the socket of his hip, and Jacob's hip was dislocated as he wrestled with him. And he said, Let me go, for the day is breaking. But he said, I will not let you go unless you bless me. And he said to him, What is your name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, Your name shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince you have struggled with God and with men, and have prevailed. And Jacob asked him and said, Tell me, I pray, your name. And he said, Why do you ask my name? And he blessed him there. And Jacob called the name of that place Peniel, for he said, I have seen God face to face, and my life has been spared. And as he passed by Peniel, the sun rose upon him, and he limped because of his hip. Therefore the children of Israel do not eat the sinew that shrank, which is on the hip socket, to this day, because he touched Jacob's hip socket at the sinew that shrank.
Jacob lifted his eyes and looked, and behold, Esau was coming, and 400 men with him. So he divided the children among Leah, Rachel, and the 2 maidservants. He put the maidservants and their children in front, Leah and her children behind them, and Rachel and Joseph last. And he himself went on ahead of them, and bowed to the ground 7 times, until he came near his brother. Then Esau ran to meet him, embraced him, fell on his neck, kissed him, and they wept. Esau lifted his eyes and saw the women and the children, and said, Who are these with you? And he said, The children whom God has graciously given your servant. Then the maidservants came near, they and their children, and bowed down. Leah also came near with her children, and they bowed down. And afterward Joseph and Rachel came near, and they bowed down. Esau said, What do you mean by all this company that I met? And he said, To find favor in the sight of my lord. But Esau said, I have enough, my brother. Keep what is yours. And Jacob said, No, please, if I have now found favor in your sight, then receive my gift from my hand, for I have seen your face as though I had seen the face of God, and you were pleased with me. Please take my blessing that was brought to you, because God has dealt graciously with me, and because I have everything. And he urged him, and he took it. Then Esau said, Let us journey on our way, and I will go before you. But he said to him, My lord knows that the children are frail, and that the flocks and herds which are nursing are with me. And if they are driven hard even one day, all the flock will die. Let my lord, I pray, pass on before his servant, and I will lead on slowly, according to the pace of the livestock that go before me, and according to the pace of the children, until I come to my lord in Seir. And Esau said, Let me now leave with you some of the people who are with me. But he said, What need is there? Let me find favor in the sight of my lord.
So Esau returned that day on his way to Seir. But Jacob journeyed to Succoth, and built himself a house, and made booths for his livestock. Therefore the name of the place is called Succoth. And Jacob came safely to the city of Shechem, which is in the land of Canaan, when he came from Padan Aram. And he pitched his tent before the city, and he bought the piece of land where he had pitched his tent from the sons of Hamor, Shechem's father, for 100 pieces of money. And he erected there an altar, and called it El Elohei Israel,